Good evening, everyone. I, Dipali Bhasin, Ehsaas woman of Delhi, am delighted to welcome you to an exclusive session of Tête-à-Tea initiated by the Prabha Khaitan Foundation. It is a privilege to have His Excellency Dr. Oleksandr Polishchuk, the Ambassador of Ukraine to India, grace this edition of Tête-à-Tea with his presence. Before we begin our much anticipated conversation, allow me to take a moment to introduce the Prabha Khaitan Foundation. Prabha Khaitan Foundation is a Kolkata-based non-profit organization committed to nurturing and promoting India's rich cultural and intellectual heritage. Its work spans literature, performing arts, education, gender equality, and women's empowerment. Through thoughtfully curated programs, the Foundation provides a platform for diverse voices and fosters meaningful cultural dialogue. From engaging author meetups and prestigious book launches to thought-provoking panel discussions and literary festivals that welcome both emerging and established writers, the Foundation fosters a thriving literary landscape. Beyond literature, it celebrates artistic expression, boutique festivals, and captivating performances by singers, dancers, and theatre artists. Through these initiatives, Prabha Khaitan Foundation continues to preserve cultural heritage, spark meaningful conversations, and create spaces where creativity and expression flourish. Now, it's my utmost pleasure to introduce our guest, His Excellency Dr. Oleksandr Polishchuk, the Ambassador of Ukraine to India. Dr. Oleksandr Polishchuk, a retired Major General, is a distinguished diplomat and defense expert. A graduate of the Kyiv Higher All-Military Command School and the Academy of the Armed Forces of Ukraine, he served the Ukrainian Armed Forces and Ministry of Defense in senior command and strategic roles for over 2 decades. Following his retirement from active military service in 2010, he continued to shape national security policy through key leadership positions in Ukraine's Ministry of Defense, National Security and Defense Council, and as Deputy Minister of Defense from 2019 to 2023. He has also represented Ukraine in international negotiations, including the Trilateral Contact Group. In June 2023, he was appointed as ambassador to India. Dr. Polishchuk holds a PhD in political science and brings to his role a profound blend of military, academic, and diplomatic expertise. Today's conversationalist is Mr. Srinjoy Chowdhury, a distinguished journalist, author, and educator with a prolific career spanning over 4 decades. His extensive contributions to the field of journalism includes tenures at prominent publications and media houses such as Sunday Magazine, The Telegraph, The Statesman, and Times Now. As an author, Mr. Chowdhury has penned several acclaimed works, including Dispatches from Kargil in 2000, Flight into Fear, which was co-authored with Captain Devi Sharan in the year 2001, and Football Fever in the year 2022. Beyond writing, he's also a passionate quiz master and a respected academic, having delivered lectures on journalism at various esteemed institutions. We look forward to a wonderful conversation. Without taking much of your time, I give the floor to both of you, all yours.
Thank you. I would say you should clap after the event. If you're bored stiff, what will you do? But hello and welcome. Thank you very much, all of you, to come on a day like this. It's Buddha Purnima, and we are just getting out of a military engagement. The roads are empty. So thank you all for coming. And we have a very distinguished gentleman with us, the Ukrainian ambassador, Oleksandr Polishchuk, doctor. He's a PhD. And we are going to talk a lot about a lot of things. Now, to misquote an old advertising slogan about color, let me just say currently, whenever you think of war or whenever you think of Ukraine, you think of war. But there's much more to Ukraine than just war. So we will have a lot to discuss. And there are many of us here who want to travel, who like holidays. And there's a lot to do and see in Ukraine, in Kiev and other places. So all of that, there is the equivalent of a French Riviera. In the Ukrainian Riviera in Odessa, apparently is not so bad, right? So we're all looking forward to that. We all are looking forward to the ambassador speaking. But before that, His Excellency wants to do a 10-minute presentation, and we are all happy to listen to you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, and thank you for Foundation, and thank you, Srinjoy, for this opportunity to speak this afternoon with you. It's a great pleasure and honor for me, and let me congratulate my Indian friends that you sorted out the problem which we currently have here, the Indian-Pakistan conflict. It's really what we feel in Ukraine, how it will be, how to live, during the wartime. But you are fully right, Srinjoy, when you said that it's not only Ukraine not associated only with war, because we are a great country. And let me briefly show you a couple of the slides. I try to make it in a very pleasant way, which will definitely you will enjoy it, because I'm going to show you the one slide, which is the size of the Ukraine. As you can see, the Ukraine, one of the biggest country in Europe. We are actually probably 18% of size of the India only, but in Europe we are even bigger than France. The population, unfortunately, now coming down because the war consequences, and before the war it was 45 million Ukrainians. And unfortunately, we have those who actually immigrated outside of Ukraine because of war. Yeah, a lot of discussion about how Ukraine got the independence. Let me just remind you, in 1991 we had the general referendum in Ukraine, and I especially marked those regions which is now under the occupation. And as you can see from the figures, the Crimea, Donetsk, Lugansk, Sevastopol city, most of them supported the Ukraine independence for that time. More than 45%, 54%. In Donetsk, Lugansk, it's more than 84%. So nobody forced these people, to support the idea of Ukrainian independence. Now, unfortunately, as you can see, about 18% of the Ukrainian territory under the occupation of the Russian Federation. I showed on a slide how it was before the February 22nd, and as you can see, well, now it's much bigger. But we still believe that we will be able to liberate our territory in a traditionally and internationally recognized border of Ukraine. It's about the willingness of the Ukrainians and the Russians to have the peace talk. Nobody like Ukrainians wants the peace, because the only peace actually allow us, to live in the freedom and to have the economic growth like we had before the war. I'm showing on this slide the losses of the Russian Federation within this 3.5 years. The losses is impressive, because more than 1,200 people they are losing every day, but it's not stop them. Another statistic, it's Levada Center, independent research organization running in Russia as a foreign agent. But as you can see from this slide, when we are talking about the support from the Russian people, the military invasion in Ukraine, on the last, you can see that 80% support the military activity on the territory of Ukraine. But when we are talking about the willingness, you see the losses are not stop them. only 2% recognize the losses as a case, to stop the war. Well, we had a lot of discussion about peace talks, but as you can see here, the only 12% who wants to speak with Ukrainians. If it's another very interesting chart, when they just analyzed if the military conflict will stop in Ukraine. For that, the Russian people supported 45%. But they're not going to give us back our land, which is now occupied. Another thing, which is a little bit confusing, it's about the preference which is given by Russians to the peace talk or to continue the military operation. The figures are slightly the same, like it was in the previous slides. And it's about the perception of the Russian authority in Russia. As you can see, without the war, Russians are not so strongly supported for the authority. I am not a propagandist, believe me. It's just independent research which has been done not by me, not in Ukraine, and the war only allows to the Russian authority to stay and rule the country. Now it's about Ukrainians. I'm quite happy that, as you can see on the first table, 41% of Ukrainians still believe that we can win in the war. From the second chart, you see the more than 30% still in this hard condition believes that Ukraine should stay in the future as a NATO member and EU member. And it's very less of those who actually believe that to sign the peace agreement immediately. By the way, we will have the talks on a very high political level in Turkey on the 15th of May. My president proposed to have such talk, and before that, the ceasefire. We'll see. Can you imagine that Ukraine is so close to the Indians? You heard about the Brahmins, of course, but we have the Rahman in Ukraine, and Rahman Church as well, and we are celebrating the Rahman Easter on the western part of Ukraine, which is 25 days after the traditional Easter. It's a Vinnytsia region close to the Moldova border. Very controversial. It's about the areas who actually, in somebody believes that the people areas they came from Ukraine side. As you can see on this slide, it's a movement from the from the place which is close to the Dnieper River to the northern India, the areas, and it's just a spiritual and cultural continuity of Sanat Dharma. Yeah, it's the actually Mikhailivka culture, which is, as you can see, 3,600 before the Jesus Christ birth, and it's actually the place from which we believe the areas moved to northern India. Some quote from the former president of India, and he as well has the same belief that the areas came from Ukraine. The Jawaharlal Nehru, former prime minister of India, as well, his quote, my friend, Professor Arvid Alok, he went to Ukraine in 2000 and he actually visited a lot of places, and he as well believes that such theory has the right to live. Some other similarities between us: the Lord Shiva, Trishul, and the Ukrainian national symbol. We call it Trizub. As you can see from these coins, it's came from the great Volodymyr, and we are used this symbol as a traditional symbol for Ukrainians. It's another story about the Russian coat of arms. It was copied from Byzantine Empire. Then it was the Golden Horde. The Nagai, he married the Byzantine princess, and he decided to take this as a coat of arms. Later on, it's the Kingdom of Austria and the Russian Empire. There's some similarities between the Kshatriyas and the Cossacks. You see, they even look similar.
Six also.
Six also. Yeah, and can you believe that we are call it in Ukrainian chup? It's the long hair, and in India it's a chuk, which means those who escape. Yeah, the Cossacks, it was those who actually escaped from the slavery, and they built up the Ukrainian first Ukrainian state, actually. At least we believe in that. I'm wearing a vyshyvanka, which is look like the Indian kurta. As you can see, I try to find some pictures with not Ukrainians, but some celebrities who as well like to wear in a vyshyvanka. And mom of the Elon Musk as well is present here. Our president, the Chuck Norris as well. Oh, sorry, Jackie Chan as well here. And of course, it's there's some similarities like the Narendra Modi ji wearing, but it's Kula. It's Kumaun. Sorry, thank you. Yeah, and the couple of those who actually have the traditional Indian roots, you are very much familiar with all of them, but Steven Spielberg, it's the man who actually promoted the Ukrainian borscht around the world. It's about a little bit about the peace deal and the mineral deal which we have with Americans. As you can see on this slide, in 2021, the American business revenue was about 8.5 billion US dollars on the Ukrainian territory, and the net profit of that, it was about 900 million. So when we are talking about the mineral deal and the presence of the American company on the territory of Ukraine, it's need to be questioned, because before the full invasion, we had a lot of American business presence in Ukraine. Yeah, this end my presentation as I promised to you, Srinjoy. Thank you
very much. Actually, if he ended right now, everyone would go home happy. No one would have to listen to me, but you want to listen to him. Something just struck me, Ambassador. In 1991, apart from the United States and Russia, which had become a country, no country had more nuclear weapons than Ukraine. And as a gesture of peace, the Ukrainians gave it up. But as I mentioned, when you think of Ukraine, unfortunately today, you think of war. And before the war began, when the Russian troops were close to your borders, I was speaking with people in South Block. The general feeling was, it will all be over in 4 days or 5 days. And today, we are 3.5 years into the war. And apart from losing some territory in one village a month or something, which is not very consequential, the Ukrainians have stood their ground. How did that happen? What led to this enormous defiance of a country that was larger, of an army that was larger, that had much more weapons and technology than Ukraine had?
Thank you. The first part of your question is very interesting about how Ukraine get rid of the nuclear weapon. Unfortunately, the first president of Ukraine, Leonid Kuchma, passed away. Oh, sorry, Leonid Kravchuk passed away. But he was the friend of mine. We spent a lot of time together in a trilateral group when we tried to, through the Minsk negotiation, try to rebuild the peace in Ukraine. And he said that for that moment it was quite difficult for Ukraine, to survive under the pressure from all of the nuclear power states. So that is why we strongly believe that the signing of the Budapest Memorandum will help us, and it will give the security guarantee for Ukraine. But unfortunately, it's not happened because the one of the signatory, Russia, namely, they actually violated this agreement. I'm not surprised that the Ukrainian armed forces been ready to fight. It was quite difficult in 2014 because it was the proxy war which started.
Crimea.
Yeah, it's about Crimea. It was the proxy war. Even the Russians not officially confirmed that they have the military presence on Ukrainian territory. But for that moment, mentally, our armed forces was not ready, to shoot the Russians. But in 2022, it was a quite different situation because we spent in the trenches a lot of time. We have the losses in between 2014 and 2022, and nobody had a doubt that the war will come. It was just a matter of time. So the Ukrainian forces been prepared for that, and I am personally as well made a lot of efforts just to make sure that Ukrainian armed forces will be trained properly. Yes, we've been in a great cooperation with our international partners. The partnership with the NATO gives us the opportunity, to follow and to introduce all of the standards in the Ukrainian armed forces. We've been not equipped properly, but mentally and technically, physically, we've been ready for that. So that is why the Ukrainian General Staff made all of necessary measures before starting from actually January 2020 to disperse the forces around the Ukraine, reinforce the forces on a main dangerous direction, and it's the bravery as well. Our people, it's not the last thing which we need to mention it. From the Russian side, it was absolutely unestimated result because we found those units which attacked Ukraine in February. They hold the military uniform prepared for the parade. They expected to have the parade probably in the downtown of Kiev on the third or fourth day of the invasion.
Yes.
But the Ukrainians demonstrate that it's not possible. Nobody welcomes them with the flowers. for the moment, I should say the big losses of the Russian army, which I show you on a slide, it's consequences of their policy. The professional militaries have been just simply killed or heavily injured on a battlefield. So now they are using unprepared, mobilized people who don't want to fight.
And North Koreans.
North Koreans as well.
Yes. See, the thing is, this war is like 1914 in 2025 plus drones in many ways, because these trenches remind you of not contemporary battles but of the First World War. But that said, after 3 years of fighting, you face a very unusual situation, the most unusual American president since George Washington, and his name is Donald Trump. Now, for Ukraine, very simply, what is the Trump factor?
First of all, we are not for the first time dealing with the Trump administration. As you probably remember, on his first time in office, he actually decided to send in Ukraine the first lethal weaponry system like javelins, which was very helpful in the first days of the war. We should accept it, no doubt about this. And later on in 2022, we had a lot of supply of the military goods to Ukraine. Artillery systems. Now we are probably in a unique situation in Ukraine. We have more than 8 different 155 millimeter artillery systems, which have been produced in the United States, in Germany, in Sweden, in Czech Republic. Well, a lot. A lot of military help we got from our partners. And we are very much appreciative of this, because we have the people who prepared to fight, who prepared to defend the country. What we need is just the military help and support. And we, in the current situation, we are very much appreciate that Donald Trump highlighted that we need to stop this war, and his administration as well put a lot of efforts to achieve this goal. Unfortunately, not in the 24 hours, not even in 100 days. But we strongly believe that now the understanding of the Russian aggressive neo-imperialistic policy is what Donald Trump actually faced, and he started to understand the real situation on the ground. So that is why we do believe that the international help to conduct the diplomatic efforts and to have this peace talks, we actually believe that all of the countries who wants to introduce the peace in Ukraine will help us, India as well, because we do remember that Modi ji said it's not a year of war to the Putin very openly. So now it's a critical time, and we will see what happens. India just demonstrated that it's possible to have the ceasefire and to have the next round of the diplomatic talks between two countries who actually adversary to each other.
Yes, and even before Prime Minister Modi's statement, I met the Minister of State of Ukraine, of Foreign Affairs, and the first thing she told me when she learned that I was Indian, she said, we have to thank Prime Minister Modi for the cargo of medical equipment and other humanitarian assistance that you have sent us.
Correct. We have more than 16 packages which already been delivered to Ukraine. It's I need to highlight it, it's a humanitarian aid. And during the visit of historical visit of Indian Prime Minister Shri Narendra Modi to Kiev, he brought another package which is for the we are call it medicine for the crisis. It's the special boxes which is used for the emergency situation. But it's not only the sending of the some goods to Ukraine. The political support is very important for us as well.
Yes, and India remembers the 20,000 Indian medical students who were in Ukraine, and Ukraine helped to ensure that all of them, maybe except one, returned very safely. And we are thankful to Ukraine and the other countries there, Poland, Romania, Hungary, Slovakia, all the others, along with Ukraine, to ensure that we got 20,000 young men and women back. But Ukraine and India, strangely, have had a lot of difficult times of similar things in the 20th century. The Ukrainians had a Holodomor, a horrible famine in 1931. India, Bengal especially, had something identical 10 years later. The Bengal famine, 2.5 million people died because Churchill refused to send food. Stalin, of course, was responsible for the Holodomor. The other thing is, much of the fighting in the Second World War, many of those terrible battles took place in what was the Soviet Union, but what is Ukrainian territory today. Kiev, then Kharkov, which the Nazis took, the Soviet Union took back. Then again the Nazis took it in 43, the Soviet Union took it back in 44. So that kind of bloodshed would have been horrible, which is perhaps one reason your country decided that, look, we don't want these nuclear weapons. They can go back where they came from. Maybe that played a role psychologically. That apart, there is much more to Ukraine than just war and suffering, because the ambassador and I were talking. Here are a large number of people who like to travel, and a lot of people here who have been traveling the world. Now, from what we know, first of all, the best bread in the world comes from Ukraine, from that black bread, right? And if you want a great Ukrainian meal, you have that beet soup, borscht, or what it's called. And everyone has eaten chicken a la Kiev. While it has nothing to do with Ukraine, except the name. Kiev is the capital of Ukraine. Let's not forget that. Chicken a la Kiev. I don't know why the name came, but you'll have to tell us a little more about this. It's not your area of specialty. I know that, but even then.
Yeah. You know that I'm very much pleased that you just remind me the story about evacuation of the Indian students. The Kharkiv, it was I should say the capital of the Indian students in Ukraine. They are celebrating the Diwali, Holi in Kharkiv, and it was so nice because it's such a multicultural exchange, and a lot of people, came especially to see this festival in Kharkiv. Unfortunately, it's too close to the Russian border, only 40 kilometers from there. Probably I will be a little bit disagree with you that the Ukraine, we actually accept the proposal to get rid of the nuclear weapon because we had such wars on the territory of Ukraine. Look, it's indeed Ukraine geographically located in a sorry for that, but in a very strange place, which is the crossroad between Asia and Europe, north and east. of course, we enjoy the advantage of this because the people using this bridge, for the trade. That is why we have such multicultural events running in Ukraine. It's Crimea Tatars Festival. It's the Western Ukrainians Festival. On the eastern part of Ukraine, a lot of things was there as well. But in this specific situation, our experience with the war shows us that we couldn't live under authoritarian regime. This Holodomor famine, it's a consequences of the totalitarian regimes ruling the country, suppressing the people, especially those who actually fighting for the freedom. So that is why actually Ukrainians have such reputation around the world that which is coming from our heritage, the Cossacks, which I show you on my presentation. There was recruited by Polish forces, by Turkish forces as a main warriors who can help to conduct any military operation in the past, of course. So that is why we are people who very much love the peace, but at the same time, with this love, we are ready to defend our country and even to sacrifice the lives of our youngest generation of the people who actually stood brave against the second army in the world. So, but now about the borscht and chicken. Some of the people calling the chicken a la Kiev as an explosive chicken, because when you put in the knife, it's it's just
the butter comes out.
Yeah, butter comes out. Yeah, it's a traditional Ukrainian dish which is cooked in Ukraine for the long time. Now it's just modernized.
Yes.
We are actually, if I'm not wrong, on a third place in the world for the export of the chicken from Ukraine. Not only the grain, but the chicken as well. So the borscht, we are fighting a little bit with Lithuanians, but because they have their own version of the borscht, but it's a cold one. We have the hot one. Not a big difference. Maybe when you put the borscht in the fridge, you have the next day the Latvian borscht. But we are very proud that we have such again such different cuisine. You can find all of the dishes in Ukraine. Now we have a lot of Georgian restaurants in Kiev. We had at least before the war, and right now we have 3 Indian restaurants, which is running very successfully. Couple of them by my friends, Indians, and they was so brave, to keep their business in Ukraine despite of the war. We had a lot of Crimean Tatars restaurant in Kiev and around the Ukraine. So again, we are not very much different with the Indians because it's a multicultural soup.
So here you are. Kiev has 3 Indian restaurants, even now. So once the war is over, when all of us get to Kiev, there'll probably be a few more. But that said, Kiev apparently is a wonderful tourist spot. And unlike many cities in the world, which are, when you look left, you find 80 people from China, all of them with cameras getting out of a bus. Kiev and Lviv is very different. They're very beautiful cities, old cobblestone roads, parts of it, and yet they have a lot of the past in them, old churches and things like that. That's really worth going to. Besides, as I had mentioned, Odessa has the Ukrainian Riviera, which is quite nice, I'm told. And there is one other place you can actually go to, and there is no other place anywhere in the world. It's forested, full of wild animals, and not many people have the courage to go there, though the ambassador might well allow us to go there if we wish. And that place is called Chernobyl. Tell us about Chernobyl. What is it like now? Can anyone go there? And how safe is it, keeping in mind radiation?
It's an interesting mixture. You know how the tragedy, which happened in 1986, now they become to the tourist attraction. Yeah, we have the special zone, which is 30 kilometers around the Chernobyl nuclear power station, which is actually guarded by, actually we have just a couple of the tourist agents who actually making the tourist trip to this place, and everybody attracted, with the place. Even the Pink Floyd actually recorded one of their song in Chernobyl. Is it safe? When you're supported by a professional guide, yes. But you need, after the visit, you need to throw all of the clothes which you was wearing, because it still can, remain some radiation. Just when the war starts, I couldn't avoid this, example. The couple of the Russian military tourists came to this place. They probably couldn't realize that it's dangerous. They start to make the trenches there in a forest which is called the red forest, because it was changed the color because the level of the radiation is so high. But they start to make the trenches there, prepared the defense in this place. I think that they are not alive now, because the consequences is very high. But believe me that it's one of the place which is attract the people to come, because everybody wants to have this adrenaline, just to realize that it's dangerous place. But we have a lot of other nice places around Ukraine which you can visit. The western part of Ukraine, as you said, it's beautifully, the mountains there, the traditional food. You can stay close to the natural source of the mineral water, which is very healthy. People, we had like in India, you have the medical tourists. It was in Ukraine as well. A lot of people came to this place. It was like the Baden-Baden in Ukraine. So in the eastern part of Ukraine as well, a lot of attractions there. So the Ukraine is a diversity of the cultures. So that is why it's still attractive to people to come.
Well, no war continues forever. So when this war ends, hopefully soon, many of us could well end up in Ukraine, provided you give us visas, of course. That's it all depends on you at the end. But that said, it's a wonderful story I hear, and I thought I would share this with you, because after all these tragedies, one of my favorites was a player called Shevchenko, famous Ukrainian footballer. Now his mother was very worried about him playing football and threw away his football. And the reason was that football was radiated by Chernobyl. Tell us about it. Tell us, it's such an interesting story.
Yeah, it's an interesting story because for that moment, people was in shock, and they just tried to escape from the Kiev. And the Shevchenko family as well, they tried to avoid, the implication of this radiation on the kids, first of all. But it's it's a combination of advantages and disadvantages. Finally, he played for the first time in a junior squadron of the Dynamo Kiev, and then he made a great career as a footballist.
Yes, he's an international superstar in his time. And
but not only Shevchenko. We have the mayor of the Kiev, Klitschko. He as well very well known around the world because he is a heavyweight boxer.
Yes.
Yeah, and his brother as well. So they're very well known, especially in Germany, because they made the career, professional career as well, runs by the German coach, and it was the American coach as well. So we have a lot of those who are actually very famous. Now this estafette was took by another heavy weight boxer, Usyk. We will just wait for his the next round of his fight, which come probably in June, if I am not mistaken, against the Dubois. So a lot of sportsmen, what Ukraine proud of them.
Well, I will end with a question. We have to end with a smile. And I would request the ambassador to describe one very interesting moment in his life. He was on a plane that was flying. And if he remembers, he was kicked out of that plane. Now, tell us about it.
Yeah,
that great moment.
You as a son of the military man like
Yes.
the military stories. It was one of the funniest during my military life. I was the young first lieutenant, and after the celebration of something, I do not remember clear, we got the plane next day. It was my friends from the airborne troop, and they said that, did you jump in your life? And I said no. It's a great opportunity for you. I'm not prepared. And they said, don't worry, it's so easy. And I stood in the front of the aircraft because I thought that that those who are coming last, they should jump last. So I will just wait in the aircraft. They will jump and I will continue stay in the aircraft. But unfortunately, those who come in first, who come in last, he should jump the first. And when the door was open, the NCO, the big man, said, your turn. And I said, me? And he said, yes. I stood and I said, well, probably, I'm not ready for that. And he said, yeah, okay, just take your hand off. And I just, because I stood like this. And when I just, took my hand off, and he just helped me to leave the aircraft. And it was the nice story. But I never tried before, and never tried after.
The general calls it his bloody bastard moment, because that was those first two words that came to his mind when he got kicked out of the plane.
Yes.
But you landed safely. That's the most important thing.
That is
right?
why I'm sitting here.
No, but you also have to land in your feet have to hit the ground in a certain way.
I've been prepared for that. You know, when you come in, you know, back to the mind, you should be prepared. But when I landed, it was the tradition that you can have some
Vodka.
No. It's actually the like the money worth, some extra money which you can get it. And I just, for the proposal, you know, to get this money, I said, keep this money and allow me not to jump next time.
I can't tell you how nice it was to speak with you.
Thank you so
And
much.
we learned so much. Forget about everything else. I mean, we learned so much, and there was so much laughter. That's not something that happens all the time. And thank you for all the knowledge. Thank you for the humor. And thank you for your time. It has been such a wonderful 1 hour.
Thank you.
Ambassador,
Thank you so much.
we had a great time.
No. Thank you so much. And I'm very proud to be here. And well, the time is nothing when you have such nice talks. And I hope that you have the questions. I'm ready to respond to you.
Yes. Sir, you.
My name is Sanjay Jain. I would like to inform you that I was born in a steel city, which was the first steel plant in India, built by collaboration of the then USSR and India, in Bhilai, yeah. So we have excellent memories of cohabiting, because there was a colony of all the people from USSR when they came over and the plant was started, and that colony continued for a very long time. So we have looked at you all as one. I personally still feel you all are one. You know, maybe there are differences, so it's like a family, and there are differences between two brothers or two sisters or whatever. So we first of all wish that all this mess is sorted out as early as possible, for your good, for the good of the region, and for the good of the, you know, the world as such. I, you know, sometimes think that if I were in your place, I would start thinking as to what we have gained or lost in the war. And I feel very pained, because I see that what has been lost, one has gone back by almost 30-40 years in terms of development and the infrastructure and all. So how do you see that, what kind of time will be required to get back to the existing means pre-2022 level, and then start moving forward? Because the country has a lot of potential still. A lot of potential is there. People are good. People are hardworking. How do you foresee that?
Thank you for your question. I as well was born in a very small town close to the Polish border, and it was the town which is built around the coal miners. And yeah, I spent my childhood, you know, to learn the profession as well. My father, he was the coal miner, heavily injured, by the way, and 25 years old, in the age of 25 years old. So the contribution of Ukrainians here in India is massive. I can the steel factory, you mentioned it. It was built in with the support of the Ukrainians who work in a steel factory in Mariupol. Another example is you have the company BHL. They are producing the electric equipment and some turbine, and it was set up with the help of the people from Zaporizhia transformator, we call it transformator plant. I can give you another example. So from the 100 warships, which is now you have in your Navy, all of them are running by Ukrainian engines, Ukrainian turbines, produced in a Mykolaiv factory, called Zaryamashprojekt. Despite of the war, we have as well the growing economy, which we can allow to us, which can allow us to live in a normal condition, to give the job to the people, to give the big opportunity to the business, to run more. The government provided to the business more privileges, more taxes exemption, because all of the help which we receiving from our partners, it's not a financial support to Ukraine. It's not. We are not using this to pay the salary to the people. It's from our own budget. About the 18% of the Ukrainian GDP now runs for the defense expenses. By the way, Russia has more or less the same percentages, which definitely, sorry for such forecast, but it will lead them to the economic collapse, like the Soviet Union collapsed during the Afghanistan war. We have the clear proof of that. If you will track all of the economic figures, which is now demonstrated, even in the open sources, how the economy runs. The question about rebuilding and reconstruction, it's always in the main focus of the President Zelensky and the Cabinet of Ministers of Ukraine. We encouraging the Western companies, the Western countries, not only Western, the Japanese as well, a lot of countries, a lot of partners who investing their money in a special fund, which is dedicated to the aim for the reconstruction and rebuilding of Ukraine. If I'm not wrong, it's for the moment accumulated more than 59 billion US dollars or euros. I do not remember. And this money we are going to spend for the reconstruction and rebuilding. As well, one of the another sources, it's the frozen actives of the Russians, which they have dispersed around Europe or around the world. We are using this frozen money, of course, with the permission of the responsible people for that. I mean, from the banks for the rebuilding and reconstruction of Ukraine. Of course, our losses huge. More than 590 billion now. It's the assessment which been done by World Bank. So it's unproportional the fund which we have and the needs and demand what we actually need to spend for the reconstruction and rebuilding. But we are quite optimistic. It's only one way how to keep Ukraine independent. That we need to keep our economy run. And I'm very much happy that some of the Indian company as well already opened their offices in Kiev. For example, for the humanitarian demining. Now Ukraine probably. Not probably, but definitely is most polluted country by some explosive materials. It's not only mines, it's just more than, it's
Exploded munitions.
yeah, and exploded munitions as well. And we are now preparing for the next round of the international conference, which will be run in June this year in Rome. And actually the Indian government as well got an invitation for to participate in this conference. Our president made a very strong statement. Those who actually support us in the course of the war, they will have the priority to come and to participate in the rebuilding and reconstruction of Ukraine. And we believe that after Second World War, Ukraine become, let's say, to the normal life after 10 years. Of course, it was the accumulation of the resources, not from only Ukraine, from the USSR, but the Ukraine was one of the biggest industrial region in Soviet Union. So that is why we, as well, very much optimistic that with the international help and using our own resources, we can achieve this strategic goal.
Any other questions? Yes, sir. Oh, yeah, right here.
Good evening, sir. I'm Srinjoy Bhasin. I would like to ask you, how do you see, hopefully we are heading towards a peace deal, right? How do you see Ukraine's position pre-24, 22, means comparing where you were there before the war geopolitically, vis-a-vis your relationship with NATO and Europe, especially under Trump, post the deal?
Thank you, sir. It's a very interesting question. I show you the chart with the research which been done in Ukraine by independent organization called the Razumkov Institute. And what is the way, to protect Ukraine in the future against any military aggression? Based on my understanding, not too much option we have for the moment. One, it's becoming a NATO member, because under NATO umbrella, which also include the nuclear power, we definitely will be protected. We are now fighting with a country who is actually the nuclear power. The another way is to get the bilaterally the security guarantee for Ukraine, and we successfully signed such agreements with, if I am not wrong, more than 20 countries for the moment. And we continue this process in our negotiation with those who actually wants to give such security guarantee. Security guarantee it's not means that it will be the presence of the forces on foreign forces on the territory of Ukraine. It means that we will financially, economically will be supported, and additionally, the exchange of the military technology will give us the advantage, to have the Ukrainian armed forces more capable. Even right now, I can give you the example. The Srinjoy mentioned it here, the drones. Ukraine now annually producing more than 4 million drones, which we are using on the battlefield. It's definitely saved the lives of our soldiers. The unique moment was just recently that Ukrainian sea drone using the capacity and some air defense rocket shut down the Russian aircraft. So in the future, probably we do not need those who are actually sitting in the trenches. The technology, it will actually promote the capacity of the armed forces. And probably the third option is to become the nuclear power as well. Because, it's probably the most powerful instrument which is actually protect the country. But now, after this just recent situation in India, I'm not sure that it's the the right option.
What are the motivation for Ukrainian people to stand against Russia? What are the motivation people are standing and fighting since long 2 years, and because being a Ukrainian people stand against Russia, that is very courage. How Ukrainian people get that courage? From where they get such kind of motivation, like your national leader while speaking with the Trump, and they have also put their words properly. How, from where you people getting courage to stand against Russia? I'm searching the motivations from where you are getting.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you. You know, of course, I can remind you the Ukrainian heritage, and because we traditionally the people who wants to live in freedom. But my question to you: how the Indians fight, and what was the motivation of the Indians to fight against the colonists quite long time ago? But you know, probably the same feeling. We want to have our own independent country, and we don't want any masters who will run the country. I mean, the foreign masters, because we can do it easily. Before the war, Ukraine demonstrated probably the highest result in the development of the economy. Our economy being integrated with the European Union, it was quite difficult, you know, when the Soviet Union collapsed and Ukraine started its independence. And but we put a lot of effort to establish a lot of the joint venture, exchange of technology with our partners, and finally, well, we've been self-sufficient and very successful country with a clear way to become the EU member, not because we want, you know, to enjoy such partnership with the EU, because we want to contribute to EU with our labor forces, with our economy, with our industry, and it was quite clear for everybody. But unfortunately, it was interrupted by war. Because somebody decided that he should make the decision on behalf of Ukrainians. We will never allow to somebody to do this, you know, and it's we have the same spirit and same behavior and same clear and prosper future.
Thank you.
I will end with a very interesting point which shows lots of. In Doha, end of 2022, I was introduced to a lady who I thought initially was Julia Roberts, and she told me she was a devotee of Shirdi, the Sai Baba. As it happened, it was the Minister of State of External Affairs, Foreign Affairs of your country. She's a Shirdi Sai Baba devotee, as you probably know.
Yeah, I know.
Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. I can't tell you how engrossing all this was. I mean, I enjoyed myself so thoroughly. I hope even if you enjoyed about 10% of how I felt, I think you had a good time. Thank you very much for coming. Yeah, I know, but he has to go home.
Yeah.
And he has work to
No,
do.
no. I'm ready.
So we'll do one next time.
I'm ready for that, and I would like to thank you very much for your interest to Ukraine, that you find the time to come here. It's a great privilege for me and a great honor and pleasure as well to speak with you, to answer to your question. It's almost 2 years I'm in India, and every day I have some lessons. Every day I have I'm actually finding that the link between the Ukraine and India. Just in this spring, I traveled to the Punjab, to the and it was the invitation of one of the college, and I'm sitting in the car and looking for all of this tags on a shops, and I realized that, well, the Gill family, quite familiar, and I told to my wife, now I do understand why I love India, and she said, why? Because the maiden name of my mother is Gill. Yeah. So it's of course it's a joke, but I'm serious about this. We have such emotional connection between two nations, and I'm very happy that the Indian students, despite of the war, still applying for the education in Ukraine, and it's another example of the bravery of the people, to come, and I hope that we will continue in such way. As you rightly said, that war is a temporary thing. It's hard. It's difficult for everybody. It's the bloody time, but after the dark, always we have the sunshine and the white time. Yeah. Thank you.
Look forward to the sunshine.
Thank you, Ambassador Polishchuk, for a very captivating and intriguing session. On behalf of Prabha Khaitan Foundation, I, Dipali Bhasin, Ehsaas woman of Delhi, would like to express my sincerest gratitude to our guest for the evening, His Excellency Dr. Oleksandr Polishchuk, and conversationalist Srinjoy Chowdhury, for steering us through an enriching dialogue. A special thank you to our presenter this evening, Smartworks, for the support for this event. I would also like to thank our hospitality partner, the Connaught. Last but not the least, thanks to the wonderful audience for being so engaging and interactive. Your time and presence made this evening truly special. Now, as you all know, the Foundation promotes cross-state cultural understanding and appreciation to foster unity and appreciation of the rich cultural heritage across India's diverse states. Today, we are pleased to felicitate our guest with the Punadai shawl. A Punadai shawl is a ceremonial garment often made of silk or cotton with gold or zari borders that embodies elegance and charm. It is usually worn during formal occasions, festivals, and weddings, and is considered a symbol of respect and prestige. I would now request George Enzweiler, Deputy Chief of Mission, German Embassy, to felicitate our guests.
Very good.
For
Oh,
Srinjoy.
what happened?
Thank you so much, everyone.